last pick an Olaf into Trundle. Whew. It's going to be rough to hold on to.
I wasn't originally on the schedule for today.
I was wondering when we were going to hear about that, and it is now. As that is a theoretical self-counter pick in the isolated matchup. You know, you expect the Renekton to win this matchup. As Sword throws down the World Ender. Wadid now is going down low. That is, of course, a bait as Viper turns up. Now, Sandbox ganking onto Wadid here as he is going to flash that wall, but the red buff is going to be enough. Alongside that skirmishing Saber to there as well, lands the Tongue Lash. And there goes the pillar. Valkyrie used for Yukal to create some space. Blast Cone. Going to stop OnFleek from getting on top of the Corki, but Fate does dive on over. A lot of damage comes out from the True Shot Barrage as Root dives over. But I hazard a guess that it is going to be the Phage. As Gorilla's moving on over. That's a really good snare. The Ignite does come down. A lot of magic damage shield is going to be available, but Fate decides not to die for that turret now. Rift Herald's going to be spawned topside. World Ender is in for Sword. It's going to be a lot of extra money for Summit. See whether they can get any more. Rift Herald is going to be taking that minion wave. Shirley comes down. Sandbox are looking to try and crash this one. Tarzan has to use the Ragnarok defensively. They're still diving for him. Fate taking a lot of damage. They are just going to buy space with that LeBlanc. Now look for a secondary charge. They will get it here as well as Yukal stops it.
Goal is the one good hope because it will just end the game if they get it.
Oh, that play was so sick from Wadid, who flashed in for it. Yukal gets exhausted immediately after the package delivery. So not quite working there. He's a little bit too tired after he gets to the front door. Because now Sword's dived in on top of Summit. Is that the fight you want to take, though, as Fate connects the chains and Sword unable to finish that engagement? Summit avoiding a whole lot of these rockets as now Sandbox looking for the re-engage. Fate lands yet another chain and Yukal has to flash massive damage onto Viper with the True Shot Barrages. Summit locks down Wadid and takes him out. Wadid expertly being the sacrificial lamb here for Griffin to make sure that they don't lose too much as the surprised crab comes out. And Sandbox continues to be frustrating, but Yukal chasing after him. And the big one is going to land. That is actually Fate well and truly chunked out. True Shot Barrage does some work onto Wadid there on the backside as Sword tries to lock them down, but Tarzan is so close to dead. Root dives over the wall. A hero play, but he gets exhausted on the backside, and now Sword's trying to get on top of him, but he's just running them around the rosy. Root is a god in this team fight. Summit dives onto Sword, and it's a triple kill as Root says no to his former coach. 6-0 is the kill score, and Mountain Soul is alive, but Baron looks to be the option. Oh my god, we get to watch it from his pro view. See how cool, calm, and collected he is there in his screen as well. Oh man. Look at how close that mouse is as well, LS.
Yep. Really, really good control.
Just landed everything.
Yeah.
Watch me, please.
Oh, he was saying dragon. Taking a little bit of damage there, but it's fine. Remember, they have...
Yep, Fate donking off a little bit towards the top side, but he's able to flash himself to safety. Now Sword getting himself a flank, but maybe he's just going to get himself a trip to the death chamber. He does, as Root locks down that kill. Viper on the front line, obliterated by this Ezreal. Double kill so far. Is it going to be the triple as Tarzan trying to kite this one out? True Shot Barrage very close to nailing Yukal as Summit locks down the jungler, and this is going to be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Griffin falling down 0-1 in game one. Sandbox fighting for their lives for another opportunity to get back into the LCK. This might just be the last we see of Griffin if they can't win the next 2 games in a row. This is so much pressure. Yukal delivers a present to Gorilla up to the backside, but Root is going to be able to lock down that kill. Not entirely sure what was going on there as OnFleek throws up the flare. These Nexus turrets are dead. Griffin flares up from Gorilla. And Summit still representing a freak of freaks. The Nexus will fall. OnFleek might just die. No, he doesn't. As there we go. Even a cheeky Jin Air flare that we love to see. I believe that was Root.
And Griffin is 1 game away from getting relegated and sent back to Challenger Series.
In the LCK, present and past. But man, and it's exactly when you need to as well. Like, it's like a chips are down performance, like really rallying. And that's what you expect out of heroes.
Yeah.
And he is trying to be that hero.
Well, we shall see what Griffin will have in store for us.
Two matches to save a potential spot in the LCK. There is still a best of 5 to play, and they have decided that subbing in Untara is going to be a good idea. I think that is the good news for everyone at home who is Griffin fans. I think that Untara does have a little bit more of that flexibility on the top side of the map. But this is the bad news, guys. iRove is back in, and unfortunately, our Lord and Savior is spending some time on the bench.
The problem is, Tom Kench, Silas, and now... What? I thought it was Acosta.
Yeah, it was Carson, and then they moved to Akali instead. This is the Faker choice into the Azir. Fate is going to be the one potentially piloting that. We might have Silas in the mid lane. Tarzan's going to be going. As he puts down his trophy. Conflict now in trouble here. Will land resonating strike, bringing out the trade so far as Fate looking to come in. Yukal not with a lot of mana right here. Safeguard forward, Tarzan very low, Q avoided. Very nice stuff as Yukal now looking to try and take down Onflick. He flashes, and the Shuriken backflip's going to be enough to get Fate to safety, but that was a janky fight. Summit, who does have himself a revolver now. And dives on Untara here. The hijack comes in. Untara in trouble. Summit will throw this one back. And there's a solo kill out of nowhere. Untara, no idea that that was even a thing that he had to...
I can kill him right away. I can kill him right away. So he autos the minion.
And he
Then
gets
the cannon
6.
was aggroing so that the cannon would finish it off, help him finish it off, get level 6. And the solo kill comes out.
Yeah, Fate can rotate around as well. As Tarzan's dived in, he's looking for Summit, but there's the abscond. It lands onto Untara. He's looking to try and bring this one back. There's the kick onto Tarzan, but doesn't really get enough done. And the turnaround does come in. Gorilla holds onto the Rift Herald, but she gets a little bit impatient.
They've actually been poked down quite a lot, and so this does give Griffin a little bit of an edge as we approach this team fight. And if Griffin
is going to land, there's the Moonlight Vigil. It is going to be true as well onto Griffin. Summit finds his way in with the abscond. Immediately he gets exhausted. Shuriken backflip there from Fate, but he's been subjugated and is going to run away. And now the Ornhorn comes in, and Tara gets one knock up at root. Devoured, kept in safe range. And Sandbox now have the inside track towards this dragon. Summit even there to clear out this minion wave. As it looks like Soul Point's going to come through. Searing Charge not going to work out there from Untara. Summit uses his flash to keep himself out of the way. Sandbox successfully moved towards Cloud Soul Point, but to have just a slight gold advantage. But now they're fighting this one out. Ornhorn comes in yet again as Untara going to have to flash in a 1v1 to escape this. I don't know whether it's like actually something that he needed to flash away from, or whether he's just...
Really good spot, even if it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks at the moment like Sandbox on track for a perfect game. Is Root going to get devoured once again? I've seen this movie before. Is Gorilla going to go down? That's their first kill. Safeguard's going to get on fleek to safety. As you can see, Root doing a lot of damage.
I think that they're just going to burst. Wait.
Griffin needs to make a decision. They need to go in. They need to try and do something. Is Root going to get devoured? The Ornhorn not going to come back there as there's Cloud Soul. And now in goes Yukal. Only hits Gorilla though, and he's going to be taken down. The bullet time has to flash immediately, and Viper gets no damage. Now the Ornhorn is going to be picked up, locks down iRove, and Summit is still alive. Flashes out, stays true, and now Gorilla looks for Root, who's dived on top of this Orn. He is extraordinarily dead. Shuriken backflip is going to land also, and Fate is not done. Now looking for Tarzan, who's behind enemy lines. I was half expecting that turret to hit Fate, but that is their side of the map. Griffin were running in the wrong direction, and Tarzan is probably going to survive, but now Severum Crescendum is there for Root, and ladies and gentlemen, I think we're starting to wave goodbye to Griffin.
I think that the Griffin is not flying today, or maybe it is. First class on Jin Air, that's what I'm talking about.
Ace Dragon can get good
Given that
deals.
he needs as much power as he can get right now, it's the unfortunate situation.
Well, Summit just going to dash on over, and Tara is going to land the ult here. As Summit, can he deal with 5 members? The answer's no. But Akali's going to take the turret on the top side of the map, and Summit is just buying on vision. Not going to get removed there as Root trying to do the damage. Okay, there's the Ornhorn. Looks for Tara with it, actually. Yukal Sand Soldiers, they do need to be respected. There's the knock-up onto Root. No Devour just yet, does come in now. Gorilla spits back root. Now they're going to have to wait before they can use that again, but you can see Crescendum able to get a lot of damage down as Root does have the weapons that he wants. And look at this from such long range, and he's still sitting on the Moonlight Vigil.
This is really scary. They're getting slowly escorted. Akali. Wait, did he just smite red?
I think so.
Wait, he doesn't have smite. I wonder if they're communicating this, that Tarzan...
He has another charge.
He
will have it available for when this Elder Drake gets low. But will they even be able to get into the pit is going to be the question as Summit trying to play goalie. Fate wrapping around as well. They are going to take the Elder with no response from Griffin. Paying a lot.
Whoa, Root?
Yeah, they're going to take a lot of damage. Gorilla holds onto the Devour though. Root can use the Severum to keep his health bar high.
There's only a Baron buff remaining right now, so it's not like they're fighting back against the Elder. In theory, this means that Griffin will have one more rodeo if they can manage to hang on. Baron, this is going to be the last minion wave for it to be crashed in. They will get the 7v5 enabled. And it's all happening at once, which means there's not a whole...
Moonlight Vigil comes down. He's got so many chakrams. What the heck? The amount of damage available from Root. He's taken down the Trundle. There goes the Braum, but he's just goes a little bit too deep. They're trying to take down the Nexus turrets. The Summit is very low. Runs away from the tower shot, but isn't going to keep himself alive. Now, Viper and Yukao, they're the last men standing, but they should be able to be enough to defend this one Nexus turret. Unless the super minions are going to be too much. They do have a lot of wave clear. There's no Baron left. And Sandbox are going to have to reset by the looks of things.
Now, this is actually an interesting timing where Sandbox, they're going to group up. Here we go.
Yep, there's the Ornn ultimate. Lands only onto Gorilla as Summit sends his one back. But Tara going to get knocked up by that one. Unbreakable is in as Tarzan's taking so much damage. Fate enters the back line, but gets under his shroud as he gets exhausted. Perfect execution, not quite working out here as Root is still doing so much damage. Died just yet. Onfleet goes and picks up the enemy red buff. Now moves himself back into the Griffin base. But somehow, some way, Griffin are holding on. This is insane.
Oh, man.
Okay, Glacial Fissure comes out from Summit. He's trying to get something done. This is the... Oh, my God, Aphelios! Root just wiping the floor with him. The Akali's going to fall down, remember? Yukao does have a lot of damage, but so does Root. The cleanup is in, and Root hand delivers his team back into the LCK.
And Griffin have been eliminated from LCK. Sandbox keep themselves alive for one more series that will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if you went back in time 6 months and said that a team with Viper, Tarzan...
Expected. Yukao there, I mean, he was doing a hell of a lot of damage in those late game team fights, but never really found his window, never really found his opportunity. You can see what did. Oh man, the amount of pressure on players, and they get a draft like that should have been able to be piloted to a win.
That was a draft. That was a massacre in the draft, and they couldn't win with it. That is, I don't know. Or 100 out of 100, if I'm being honest. It was really big. They have simultaneously winning lanes, better scaling, better mid-game. They have everything that you could want. And the opponent has a non-factor jungler that can't realistically engage. There's no real kick targets. And yet, mechanically,